Can you hear me all right?
I can. Wow.
Awesome. Brother,
Awesome.
I
How are you?
cannot I'm doing awesome, man, but I've got to be honest with you. I can't let you up in here without some intro music, bro.
Get up, stand up,
Hey,
just for your right.
now you're talking my
Get up,
style.
stand up,
I,
Yeah. Don't
just
jump
for
off the
your
fight.
right.
Anyway, brother, what's up, man? Thank you so much for doing
no,
this. I'll be honest,
absolutely.
I did not expect you to email me back. I'm just like some dude, but you emailed me back, and we've been trying to get this link going for like 20 minutes, and
Yeah, it's been quite a chore. I
stuck
stick
through
with
it.
it.
You
Oh, of
did, man.
course.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm like that. When something doesn't work, I don't give up until I can figure out how to make it work. I'm just like that, man.
yeah,
So
for sure.
thank you
I'm too.
so
I've had a
much.
long day. Yeah.
And hopefully our audio doesn't mess up here. I know that sometimes that happens on your stuff, but uh, you don't have any idea how many dots connected for me to get to this moment right here. A lot of strange coincidences of things coming in front of my face at the same time. Things that we're going to get into later, hopefully. Um, but it's an amazing story, and I didn't bring you here to tell my story. I brought you here to for the people that I've been talking to hear your story. It's an incredible story. First time I heard it, I was like, "What the hell?" and,
Yeah.
but I knew there was. It's crazy. It's a crazy story, but the truth is stranger than fiction most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For sure.
I'm sure you told this story thousands of times. So I've been directing people towards your War Castles page to get familiarized with your story. But can you can you sum up what you did in terms of capturing the flag and what all that entailed and how you did it?
Sure. At the time, I was working with my business partner, David-Wayne Colin Miller. And we set out on a plight to figure out the loopholes and tricks and traps of grammar, as well as it took us down a rabbit trail of what not to do and what to do as far as putting a construct in positive positioning, as well as setting up I brought in the quantum of the now space aspect to the concepts of the certification of math interface. And David was a genius, and the bad thing was he chose some different sides. But in that plight, we ended up, or I ended up. He didn't do anything, but I ended up in the fights right in the middle of the courtrooms, all across what they would call the United States, and then eventually up in Canada and around the world. And in that journey, it was very humbling. I was found out what I didn't know, and then found out what I did know, and would never want to put anyone in that position. It was very physical, it was very demanding, and everybody was laughing, and I was figuring out this bankruptcy and what was going on when the United States was coming out of this international bankruptcy in 1999. And so I positioned myself with David on the flag to articulate and capture the construct of grammar dealing with the closure on the flag. Why that is valid and why that is, people should know what that means is if you study the laws of the flag, it shows you the construct of how foreign postal governments conduct business as well as corporations through flag etiquette from venue to venue on port and what they call quays and the dockage and bills of lading and all the things that come into those crazy timelines and the timelines to go with it. Long to the short, ended up being Chief Judge of the United States, became Chief Judge at the U.S. Supreme Court on October 1st, 2004, and became Chief Judge at the World Court at The Hague in January of 2005 when I was conducting a military court-martialing in Washington, D.C. every 45 days for 3 to 4 years. I moved the court-martialing into my now space because it just works a lot better for me, and I don't have to go back to Washington, D.C. or anywhere else for that martial law theater. So the martial law is here. It's a good thing for me, not so good for the people, but it is what it is. So
So you say martial law is
I,
here. Are you talking about like because of COVID and the riots and all that stuff?
no, it was here way before that. That's just an excuse to put it in your face.
Uh-huh.
That's how that works, and
So
most
we've been
people
under
are
martial law for a long
not.
time. How long?
Well, I moved into the martial law theater on December 12th, 2004. I had a peace-treaty with the Secretary of the Navy's office in Pentagon. The peace was breached by the Pentagon on that specific day, and so I moved into mechanical movement as a commander-in-chief, and I got to go down that field and go toe-to-toe with the U.S. military. And you got to remember, for everything from the U.S. Psychological Warfare Department, who we wage war through deception, which is an adjective, pronoun, adverb, verb scenario, to different scenarios and different military positions and military bases that I would just walk on and be me. That's another thing, and a lot of that's pretty classified. But yeah, it's the martial life and law is here. It's not a pretty thing. It's an ugly thing. And the people, unfortunately, the rights are gone, and they're just figuring out how bad it is. It should stand up for the rights, but I'm against the looting and the pillaging and the plundering. That
100%.
is unnecessary.
That's
Yeah,
totally
yeah, that's
different
a
from
really,
standing up for
you
your
don't want.
rights.
That's for sure, man, for sure. You want to treat people honorably. You don't need to be. People work hard for their values, whatever that may be, whatever they may be in their lifestyles. For their jobs, for their business locations. You shouldn't be down there trashing somebody's business location. That's pretty uncool, and I'm not hip with that at all. And I don't will not allow the quantum grammar mechanics to be used to help somebody who's out there pillaging and looting society, when we need to learn how to communicate first before we throw stones. Simultaneously, that's a two-way street, because the governments don't have a position to do anything. They don't have a flag. They don't have a post office. They don't have anything on a worldwide level. And it's unfortunate that the fees for freight and, the good news is that there's so many people out there standing up for their rights, but they need to put a concerted effort in learning about the syntax and how they got involved and got caught up in their usury.
Okay,
And so
so
with that, that's where. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Russell. Every time you say a sentence, you fry my brain just a little bit more. Um, and because I'm a pretty smart dude, but the stuff that you say is kind of hard for us to digest. We haven't been, for those of us who haven't spent a lot of time studying the quantum grammar and flag etiquette and all this stuff, it can be kind of hard to follow you at sometimes. So what I was hoping to do is try to make a video here that might be a little bit more easily digestible to the average person, like the quantum beginner, because
Sure.
you're smart, man, and you fry our brains, and it's awesome. But a lot of us want to understand. So you say that the people are fighting for their rights, and that's awesome, but they need to understand the quantum grammar that basically got us into this situation. Uh,
Yes. First of all, they need to comprehend that when they were docked here on this vessel, whatever they call it, some people call it flat Earth, some people call it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue any of that stuff, any of those concepts. What I'm going to look at is the mechanics of words that we're using to articulate closure on those concepts.
what
And
is
so when you
closure?
look at closure, means that you have full comprehension based upon knowledge that gives a position of or gives a fact, a position to state a claim in somebody's world. So if you have knowledge, and you and everyone in the room, or you and everyone in the conversation, can come to a concurrence on the position of the word or of the value of the word. And then this is where the quantum grammar comes in for the parse, where we break those words down and take out all the negativity within a function of that syntax. Syntax is the order of operations of the words. For a lot of people, my story would be very difficult to follow, because I went so many places and took this thing to so many administrative, mechanical positionings on a global level to set up the quantum system. So for the average person, they don't need to do that anymore. They need to get what's called a claim of the life with our system and move into those functions to set up a scenario where they can start making claims as a fact to safeguard their equity or safeguard their loved ones or travel or navigate from point A to point B without being a burden on society. They take accountability for themselves and become quite engaged in autonomy or autonomy, whatever you want to call it, autonomous to their own sovereign free will thinking. The quantum system is not set up to tell anybody what to do. It's simply here to put in check the condition of thinking on why the performance was created on the acts or on the facts. The facts are the doing of the work or the performing of the contract. Those are facts. Running is a fact. See, it's the thinking that takes place to move you into the condition and state of the running. So running, in fact, is a fact, not a verb. If you don't think, then how can you run? Because
That's interesting. And it makes sense when you say that, but we've lived our whole lives speaking a certain way.
Sure.
Being told that running is a verb because it's an action. But when you say running is a fact, if you're running, that is a fact. And I've never thought about it like that. It actually is a fact. It's not a verb.
Well, unless you're not doing any thinking, I hope you guys are all doing some thinking.
I'm doing a whole lot of thinking, brother. I promise you that.
All right. Yeah, I do too. I think in a lot of different concepts because of the world that I found myself in with the chemistry and all the things that come into my world was a big math thing, and I brought solutions. I didn't complain about the difficulty of figuring out some of these algorithms or some of the things that I've had to figure out, especially when I'm on atomic conditions or some of the other things that we're looking at. So, most people don't even know what that is, let alone the parsec and the syntax and the chemistry. And, it's unfortunate that this world has been set up in this shipping war that we found ourselves in here. And people were not given full closure on the terms of the usury of all these systems, which now have got everybody trapped into the fighting. You have the social engineering from the social media, as well as, the blurred lines of all the desensitizing on the death and crossing all boundaries, which we've been, the governments and Hollywood and all the things have been engaged with to break down the condition of to create a balance and equilibrium amongst our fellow mankind. So the grammar gives a chance to find that balance so you can place a fulcrum in a direction that the people can join with, and the government that simply is a custodian, caretaker of the people's will. And so it's a little bit different style of concept with the quantum system. And it definitely downsizes in government structure, as well as brings more accountability to the people. So the people, if you're out there looting and are out there pillaging, you're not going to like my system, right? Because those are facts that you did. Now I can break down the condition of mind. Well, the condition of mind, unfortunately, goes into many functions because you have to look at the chemistry of what's happening into the geopolitics, the stress fields of what's happening out here, either through the chemistry of the food that we're intaking or the water, or the infrastructure of the 5G and the manipulations that come there and break down the iron, and cause all the misplacements of electron shells, and so that things are miscued in your body, so you fall down and all the things that
we're really getting hit from every angle, aren't we? Like every time we turn around, every time we eat, every time we breathe, it's like we're being attacked, and some people just don't stand a chance.
Some people don't stand a chance, and that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
That's not fair to their loved ones either. They love their families. Some people don't have the education to deal with some of these functions. That's where a guy like me, hiring a guy like me to put myself in a theater to handle that on behalf of the people, that's where I earn the people's trust. That takes time. That's something that the people just can't give me, and nor would I ever just ask for it. You would see it based in my life, based upon performances, because that's what it's about. And
So what is it? What can you define performance for me?
But performance is having comprehension of a situation, of a condition, and then bringing a solution that is peaceful and neutral into a theater that creates a benefit for the people. So when you're looking at the performance, it's the actual conveyance of the facts, of the charters, of the administrative mechanics of this quantum grammar construct that I've set up on a corporate level for moving of cargoes from point A to point B. Both, I did it from a global position as well as a galactic position. I developed the galactic postal constructs back in 2005. And so that was a whole, and I don't like to give those technologies out right now because the people are wrapped up in their earth time banking, let alone how can they ever find anything else. So I'm not going to say those words over this communication, because every time I say something, people are stealing my concepts. So
I understand it.
yeah, I've had a lot of theft. I've got the U.S. Marshals stopped by my place in Wyoming a couple of weeks ago, and they've opened up a case against all the identity theft going against me worldwide. You got to remember, I'm the guy that created crypto-currencies. I'm the guy that created this concept after concept after concept, and they misarticulated using adjective pronoun, adverb scenarios in their syntax, and of course they let their derivative lunacy continue on in those concepts. When I created crypto-currencies in 2001, I guess it was 2001, June 2001, and I published it in December 2001. So when I did that, the world, I was contacted in 2006 or 2007, I apologize. At the time, I was contacted by a guy that claimed that he was going to bring forth crypto-currencies and dropped all the adverbs, dropping into an adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun scenario and dupe and get a lot of money from the people. At the time, unfortunately for him, he's no longer with us, so they claim he's dead. Now MacDill, I was dealing with U.S. Special Forces out of MacDill Air Force Base and military theaters, and so they recorded the whole phone call. Of course, if you contact Navy JAG, the JAG 4 watch, they'll say they don't even know if any such documents exist because it's all under national security. So I'm having to hop through those scenarios simultaneously. So it is what it is. I'm not upset about any of it. I feel very sorry for the people right now. I see a lot of pain out here, see a lot of hurt, and I see a lot of misdirection and misinformation about people that don't bring solutions to the table, only complain and then say that we're going to fix it, and it's already been fixed for everyone. The nice thing about the quantum grid is it goes in and out of all languages in the world and lose no deviation in a sentence structure. So it's palatable from foreign venue to foreign venue to create a sense of joinder to keep that communion and that piece of neutrality from venue to venue to venue to venue, because it's all one under the shipping, which I am the Postmaster General of on this.
So you've already made the solution happen.
Yes.
What's keeping it from fixing everything?
Well, the people, of course, and then there's people that are new into, the Johnny-come-latelys into the situation. You have everybody says, "What about Trump?" Well, he's so new to anything, and from a tactical command position, he's in a tough spot because of his knowledge, and that's unfortunate for him. His handlers are handling him a certain way. He's got certain scenarios he has to deal with. As I watch it as a global commander-in-chief, I feel sorry for the guy because you don't know what you don't know until you find out.
Has Trump reached out to you about this quantum grammar and all this?
No. Last time I've contacted the White House about 20 times in the last 30 days. Every time I contact them, they hang up the phone on me or to take me to a line that's disconnected. So that's pretty standard, and I'm typically used to being shunned and tossed aside, but doesn't change the facts that they don't have anything, and I'm cool with that. So
right,
it works.
Well, the reason why I'm so interested, other than all the things that you're saying, is because, well, I'll start at the beginning. I'll try to make this brief. A friend of mine sent me your War Castles video through Facebook Messenger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
That's
not
where.
on Facebook.
Well, no,
Okay,
no, no, I know, but they just forwarded your YouTube link to that video. So I went and watched it on YouTube, and I was kind of mind blown, right? And I'm one of those people. I'm always researching, studying stuff. I don't watch TV. I watch videos, and I'm
Sure.
learning stuff. So my brother
You
is
probably
the
know
same
you
way.
probably know a lot of cool stuff. You
I
probably know a lot of cool stuff.
I know a lot of cool stuff, bro, and that
Yeah, you probably know a lot of cool stuff. Right
maybe
on.
not as much cool stuff as you, man, but I'm
Oh
getting
no, no,
there.
no, no. I'm honored to run into guys like you. Got to comprehend. I've specialized in my field, which is military movements, banking, courts, galactic stuff. You're focused on, the health applications and probably who knows what. And there's so many beautiful people out there and so many beautiful things. It's mind blowing how much knowledge and closure there is out there for the people if we take time to learn or we get pointed in the correct direction. So my hat's off to guys like you and all the people of the world that are geniuses and know cool things. So thanks for
Well,
your efforts out here. I appreciate it.
yeah, man. But I want to share with you this connection that I made that I haven't seen anybody else make. And it kind of happened by accident, which is the way a lot of the cool stuff happens sometimes.
Sure.
So like I said, my friend sent me the War Castles link. I checked it out. I probably spent about 5 or 6 hours after that watching
Wow.
War Castles videos. So I sent it to my brother, and then so I'm always going back and forth, researching this, researching that, and I was looking at two different things that I thought were not connected, and I sent my brother your video of War Castles 1, and I think that there's an awakening happening, and that people are going to start to understand, and that I think that God's working through you to fix this evil situation that we're in, and that's
Sweet.
what prompted me to message you and ask you to do an interview, and I'm so grateful that you did. Thank you so much again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I'm an easy guy to communicate with, even though people don't comprehend a whole lot of what I'm saying.
right.
If you were to hang out and just chill with me, you'd be like, wow, this guy's pretty laid back. I work in the lab and stuff, and the people
Mhm.
I work with are like, man, you're just a down. I mean, because I can do things, and people are like happy with that. I'm not like I don't want to be known as somebody that's arrogant. I want to be known as somebody that's been righteous and fair. And oh
Uh,
no, like if I told you I'm a performer, you can count on it. When the lights are on and everybody's looking, I'm just gonna walk in the door. You won't even see me coming. And it'll look kind of funny because I got my own style. Hopefully I got enough dudes there to grab everybody so they don't take off or running.
uh-huh.
But yeah, because that's a true
Hey,
phenomenon.
listen, bro, if you need
Being,
people to
being
grab
on,
people, listen, if you need people to grab people, I'm 6'3". I got some brothers. They got some meat on them, brother. We'll come in there with you, and they ain't getting away. They will
yeah,
not get away.
we want people that are trying to do good, because there's a lot of people out there that are really trying to do good, but they're caught up in a tar pit that they can't get out of because they're
Exactly.
stuck because they're stuck in so much usury. This is what I've designed on a global level that not only help people in this country, but help people of the world simultaneously, so that it creates a sense of peace and fairness where they get to have utopias where they're at, not go in and terraform and break down countries based upon ideologies and based upon people bombing them out of their location.
So
That's
basically,
unfair.
people get to create their own utopia. This gives them
It's
the
not.
freedom and the liberty to pursue their own happiness.
As long as that happiness doesn't harm our fellow mankind, because they're held accountable by the prepositioning set of the facts to break down the condition of mind, where the facts set up in a scenario that helped and was peaceful and neutral to our fellow mankind. Or did you loot, trespass on somebody else's stuff, or steal somebody else's concepts.
Got you.
So these are things that, that the world will see. And as I move forward and do things, hopefully you guys, the cameras will be on so you guys get to see me be a judge. I'm a very good judge. I'm very fair and neutral, and I've been in a lot of, would you believe it if I told you I've been in a lot of courtrooms,
I
Mike?
believe you, man.
You can
I've
count
watched
on
a lot of your
it.
videos. I've watched a lot of your videos.
You can count on it.
Okay, so
Some of
somebody
it's
like
just
me,
what, yeah.
how do you refer to it? A live life claim? Is that the right
Yes, a live life claim. Yes,
live life
yes,
claim?
yeah.
What is that, and how does somebody like me obtain that?
Okay, well, there's a lot of ways to obtain that. The first way to obtain that is, hold on, I'll make sure I get this correct because I want to get this correct for you.
Okay.
So let me make sure I say that these numbers correct. That's the key.
Okay.
And say these emails correct. So a claim of the life basically gives you a position for the statement of a claim. It moves you out of a position of your birth certificate, right, which you're stuck in usury on, and it gives you a position to where you can now, hold on, I'm trying to find the location. I apologize about this.
No problem.
You kind of caught me flat-footed here, and so I'm.
It's all good. Hey, I
Yeah,
got time, man. I'm trying to figure this out.
yeah,
I don't want to be in the birth certificate system anymore. So if I got to wait a couple more minutes while you find get it right for me, I will wait.
yes, for sure. Yeah, but a claim of the life will move you out of the. Okay, so to get a claim of the life, I'm going through this email. It's called JANTARA424 at msn.com.
Okay.
And
Can you I'm going to write that down. What is that?
it is
Uh-huh.
JANTARA424 at msn.com.
And that's an email address to who or what?
But that is to Janice Prince. And she's the one that is handling my claim of the life at this time. And the claim of the life is a bill of lading that moves your sets you up in a factual position to create a juxtaposition to now move your equities out of the adverb verb world into a factual condition of state on the grammar.
Awesome. So that will take us out of the birth certificate system. Does that mean that
That'll set you up in a claim of the life situation. Now, once you have a claim of the life, then you need to learn about your usuries that you're all involved with. The usuries that you're involved with would be like your driver's licenses, your passports, your insurance, all the things all the accoutrements that we have in our day-to-day function. And then you move those equities into your claim of the life position. And then at the same time, simultaneously, put performance on those locations on whatever it is that you want in your world. And so
Janice will help us figure out how to do all this and walk us through it or whatever.
On the claim of the life, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you would.
So we get the claim of the life, then we move all of our usury.
Well, then you learn about your usuries, and these are nice contracts to have. Yeah, see you in the morning. Thank you.
Waterworks in the world, but they're quoting PVC between pumps and wells.
We'll put this so we know how to get it. Cool. Have a good one. Sorry about that.
That's all good, brother.
Yeah,
All
I'm
good.
in the middle of a move right now, so it's good.
A lot of movement happening right now.
A lot of movement in
A lot
the
of
world.
movement.
No
All right.
doubt.
So I'm gonna email this Janice, and I'm
Yeah.
ready to do it, man. And I want to figure out how I can help you get your message out, which is another reason why I wanted to do this interview. And hopefully, this isn't the last one that we do.
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty easygoing. There's more and more people wanting to talk to me, but
Yeah,
I will make the time for everyone because, everybody has good questions.
yeah.
And what I've been doing, I've been at for so long that sometimes I don't even know that I'm talking over people's heads, and I'm very sorry about that.
It's okay. That's why I brought you back to earlier. I was like, "You're frying my brain, Russell,"
Um,
because
and
you use a lot of terms that we're just not familiar with, and sometimes you'll say a sentence with 4 or 5 terms in it, and I'm just like, I don't know what he's talking about again. But I think the
so,
more that we do this, no, don't be sorry, man. It's not your fault. But the more we do interviews like this and learn how to and listen to you, the more we'll understand. I mean, when a baby's born, they don't know how to speak, and everything sounds like that. And then after listening enough, it starts to make sense. It's just a matter of taking it in enough until it makes sense.
yeah, and it's been very difficult because you asked a very good question. How come the world's still running an adverb verb? It's because there's people with different agendas now in location, and there's been a lot of bad actors in the way.
Hmm.
There's only a handful of troublemakers that control and promise people a lot of money in retirements and this and that if they continue their agendas moving forward. The cool thing about when you get old, when you work for the government, is they roll you under the bus and they make sure you don't get paid. And that's really cool to watch because it's pretty much standard throughout history.
Hmm.
So because of that, all
Yeah.
these people that are screwing us, guess what? We know as soon as they retire, they get to get rolled under the table themselves. They get run over themselves. And
Uh-huh.
then they'll be like, but I thought he said, but. And the people that they thought they could get to and said, promised them everything, they're already compartmentalized so far away that they don't have to perform for anyone. So it's a pretty standard thing. So
Yeah.
everybody's screwing everybody out here, everybody blocking my concepts, everybody stealing from me. You're only stealing from yourselves and you're only stealing from the loved ones of your life. It's actually how it is. So,
So what do we do about it?
well, we give closure to the people and we give closure to the governments and, have them bring me forward. It, see if the people can put trust in me and
So who
say,
in the government can bring you forward? Like, are we talking about mayors? Are we talking about
no,
governors?
no, this now, because it's a martial law. Now, let me back you up to the facts.
Okay.
The facts are, is you are in a martial law theater.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, this is how it is.
Since 2004.
Well, I'm in it since 2004. Who knows when they've been in it, right? It's
Okay.
hard to say,
All right.
right? But the facts are, this is run in a military theater under the general or the commander of that theater. This is where my training comes into place to go talk to those people on behalf of the people, on behalf of the world, and quash some of the concepts that are scaring people. But at the same time, the generals and stuff look at me and they're like, hey, Russell, those people aren't accountable for their actions. If we turn them loose, they're going to burn, pillage, and destroy themselves, which is what they want
Hmm.
because it's part of the engineering to control us to lock down the screws even tighter around our world.
Order out of
So
chaos.
out of order out of the chaos, guaranteed. It's an old playbook. Sadly, the people that are in position don't have the authorization to even have a playbook at this time. So I'm busy trying to get into position to go help, working feverishly as hard as I can.
Hmm.
And things are coming online as far as that goes. But, the citizens, as I watch from very far distance, uh, it's very sad. And I see a lot of pain and a lot of things that are happening out here that it's going to create huge hardships. It's going to create chaos, and it's going to create all the things that don't have to be, because there's wealth and there's love and there's peace and happiness everywhere if
Right.
given the chance to reflect that. There's a lot of tough people out here. There's a lot of tough guys, right? There's a lot of tough guys. Look at Mao and some of these guys from the past. What did they say? nothing changes except through a point of a gun. I mean, they all have their own thinking. However, when the people become accountable and look at the parse syntax of their world, they can look at solutions brought forth by me that have been in a position to help their lives in a day-to-day function, as well as the health and the battery intake of what the food, the water, and all the things simultaneously need to be cleaned up so that it gives the people a chance without giving the sense of positive support for the chemistry and the electroengineering that is going on in our bodies and are all around us. If we don't clean that up, we're going to destroy ourselves. And so we definitely need to learn what that is. There's brilliant minds all over the place in those fields. Thank goodness for that, because I'm only focused in my field. Though I've taken down the charters for the World Health Organization, syntax those for fraud, and done all the things against all these entities that keep the genius bottled up. This is where they need to come forward simultaneously so that we work in concert to bring solutions simultaneously that are solutions that won't have consequences on a later on a short-term band-aid, so to speak. This is not what the quantum grammar and the quantum postal government is set up for. It's set up for a long-term finity loop of frontwards and backwards saying the same thing, so it heals the conditions forever.
That sounds amazing. That's what we want.
Yeah, well, I have tools in place that once the people learn how to use them and the governments learn how to be administrative mechanics on them, will be very harmonious and does away with like the looting and the problems that we're seeing out here. And that's my concern, is that I'm not too late into a situation to where people don't get hurt. Because I've been the guy, sir, and I've been hurt. I know what that feels like, and the bruises and the blood and the pain. It's an actual thing, right?
Yeah, they beat you up pretty good in there, didn't they?
Well, at times, yeah. But maybe strong. I was smart enough to go get some geopath clearing through my cellular structure using different frequencies and different stuff, and acupuncture and some of the things that I've done to clear the cellular memory so I wouldn't be angry. And so the things that I had to overcome was the forgiveness, and I had to forgive them.
That's what I was going to just suggest, because really anger is a product of not forgiving. But I've never heard what you just said about the cellular memory, clearing the cellular.
Because our cellular tissue is a capacitor, and so you have to go in and reprogram the subspace there, and then click that in. And when you click that in, I mean, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to educate too much, but anyway, there's the past, future, and now, and you can click all in the now, and there's techniques for that. But that's another thing.
Got you. So I saw one of your other videos with I can't remember her name, not the healer lady. What's her name?
Winifred.
Yeah, not her. I saw another video of is she Indian?
Yeah, Romola.
Romola. Yeah, you've done a lot of stuff with her. And you mentioned, to my surprise and delight, that the turpentine cleanse, which I've already been doing.
Yeah, that's a killer. That's
it's
awesome.
So awesome. Let me tell you something. The best I have ever felt in my whole entire life was after I did a 5-day turpentine cleanse. Now, the regimen that I was supposed to be on was like work your way up to a teaspoon. And I got it mixed up with tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons. See, the people watching this, they don't know why Russell's laughing, but but it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. There was a certain part of my anatomy that was really upset with me because I was taking 3 times too much. But I will tell you this, Russell, On the 6th day, after 5 days of doing it, I was standing in my kitchen, and all of a sudden I realized how amazing I felt. And I was like, I don't think I've ever felt this good in my whole life. That turpentine works. Now, I did it to get rid of candida, but you were talking about nano something.
Yeah, nanobots that we digest in our food, the stuff that they put in our food to program us.
They're putting nanobots in our food.
Well, I mean, you're gonna crap if you do the turpentine cleanse right. You're gonna be crapping them out. Look in your stool. You're gonna
What do
see
they
the
look?
bugs.
What do they look like? I mean, I had some crazy stuff coming out of me, but I wasn't exactly looking for nanobots.
Yeah, you'd have to look pretty close, and it basically it gets them out of your system. The cool thing about it is after you do one of those, you should do a liver cleanse, and that liver cleanse will definitely be helpful with the turpentine cleanse right after.
Is there a certain liver cleanse that you do?
There is, I don't want to say
Does it matter?
yeah, liver cleanses, but a liver cleanse can be very healthy for you. And so it definitely gives your body a sense of clarity, especially if you've done the turpentine, like you were saying.
Right.
That is quite a thing. And of course,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy.
that's quite a thing.
It's
And
worth it.
and so you've had the pine breath, and you know exactly.
Oh yeah,
everything.
burping it up.
Oh
So
yeah.
you said that you put it. I think you said 12 drops of turpentine in sugar. And do I remember correctly that you let it sit there for 5 days?
No, I let it sit there for 5 minutes.
Oh, 5
and then,
minutes.
And then because it dissolves into the sugar, you put it in your mouth and dissolve it. And then in 5 days, I up the dose again. Right.
So you're doing this every day?
No, every 5 days.
Okay, so
every 5 days.
Every 5 days?
Yeah, upgrade. But there's a threshold. Your body will kind of tell you where your turpentine you're taking too much.
Yeah, it sure will. It will, and it ain't fun either.
No,
It is not fun. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital, man.
No, you don't want to go too extreme on that.
So are you saying once every 5 days, just so I understand correctly?
Once every 5 days for 30 days, so you can catch the egg cycles. So you're going to catch the hatch. You want to catch the hatch in your body of all the parasites. Once you catch that hatch, then you're good for a while.
So it's kind of like lice.
I like lice. Yeah, it's a bug.
And it also gets rid of the nanobots too.
It definitely releases the nanobots out of your cellular system for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was doing is I did like a 5-day thing, and right before I did a 5-day. I'm not doing it again, and I'm not suggesting anybody else do it. But I did 5 days of a tablespoon a day.
Wow, that's too much.
Yeah, I know. You think, Russell? It was not fun, dude. It was awful. But it worked. I'm telling you what, it worked. I don't regret it, but I damn sure I'm not going to do it again.
What I find out about it when I go through that cleanse, and I find my synapses to be sharper, quicker. I feel more response. I feel quicker memory. I feel very, very. I do it like I play semi-pro basketball in a Native American league. And,
what? I'm a basketball player.
Oh, hey, look, you can't tell this, but I'm a highly tuned world-class athlete. I play in cash tournaments all across the U.S., my friend.
I told y'all this guy is David. Y'all hear this? He's David.
Hey, I'm a legit baller. You know, I'm a little older, but I do it. I'm in our league. I'm probably one of the oldest out there for sure. And it's very competitive. Most of the guys are coming over from overseas, and so it's a real competitive league. You know, and we're for my age and where I'm at. You know, I can look at them all, and they already know I'm a highly tuned world-class athlete. We are -1, baby. What's up?
That's what I'm talking about.
Boys know
And,
too.
well, hopefully one day we can get up and we can ball a little bit together.
Yeah,
Man. That'd be fun.
whereabouts are you at? Whereabouts are you at?
I'm in South Carolina. I'm right by the ocean, man.
Oh yeah, I won a case in Charleston, South Carolina, against in 2002. I went toe to toe with the DEQ out there with a gentleman I ordered the federal courthouse open, one of my favorite spots in Charleston.
So
So
let me ask you about that. Like, so somebody has a legal problem. They is that what you mean? Like they call you and you come in and
yeah, they did. I don't do that anymore.
okay,
Because of the martial law.
uh-huh,
I'm conducting a military court martialing at all times, so it's a little different.
right,
But yeah, there was a time when I would go in and or because I know the secrets, and I you know hold trials and stuff at federal courthouses and did all kinds of stuff. When I became Chief Judge of the United States, you know, I thought it was because they were so corrupt. I got to tell you how corrupt these guys are. So I'm there on October 1st, 2004, right? And
uh-huh,
I disqualify all 9 judges under the 3-strike rule. U.S. Supreme Court police jump on my plane, autograph my stamps, blah blah blah. We go into the clerk's situation. They actually tried to stamp my document September 31st, 2004. How do you know when the judicial system's lying to you? Their lips are moving and their hands are writing, right?
yeah,
There is no such date as September 31st, right? They were so
wow.
upset about what I had done. Yeah, you give me, it's just
So
one.
what do they
It's a
expect to
lie
gain?
all the way to the end.
What do they
Well,
expect to gain by putting a fake date on your stamp on your?
they're just showing me that they're going to stay a lie no matter what.
So they're
No
just trying to
matter
rub
what
it
the
in your
court.
face.
Yeah, well, they're rubbing out in my face. They look like idiots to themselves. They already know what they aren't. And they look, unfortunately, it's the people that don't get to see this. The people don't get to see the hurt. The people don't get to see.
Yeah,
They're going in, paying filing fees, going in thinking there's a chance. I'm telling you right now, it's martial law.
yeah,
Courts closed, right? Go look up the terminology in your fiction, then syntax it and put myself in position there. I'm a legislator, chief judge, executioner, the whole 9 yards. So the governments in our country know this and worldwide know exactly who I am. I'm not a secret to the banking families. I'm not a secret to anyone. I'm a secret to the public, right?
How
Because you
come
guys have,
a lot of people like me are wondering how the hell you're still walking?
well, that's what I tell everybody what this is all about. Let's break out all the killers and find out what this bad boy is all about. Because I'll still be here. And that is what the bankers all ask me. Why aren't you dead? Why aren't
Uh-huh.
you dead? They say you were going to be dead. I look at them and says, let's break out all the assassins and find out what this bad boy is all about.
That's what I'm
Because
talking about.
I know. And they know.
Have they tried?
Well, there's always the manipulations, of course.
Yeah.
Space is what it is. And so knowing that and knowing what I've done to help, right? The reason why I'm walking around is because I actually have solutions to help.
Right.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm a good guy.
Right.
People misunderstand me because they don't look at it from my position. How could you guys? You're untrained,
Right.
right? You weren't trained up by the banking systems. You weren't trained up by the militaries. You weren't trained up by the courts. You just weren't, you guys were not in that venue. Everybody was busy laughing at me, but I guarantee you, when I was conducting a military court martial against Bush and Cheney, when I was talking to the Universal Postal Union, who was calling me on the phone out of Bern, Switzerland, the words out of their mouth were, Russell, nobody's laughing at you, sir. They were
You
pretty
did a
fair.
court martial against Bush and Cheney?
Every 45 days for 3 years at the Washington Mall. They put 20 to 50 video cameras behind me, as well as Apache and Chinook military helicopters with cameras out facing down at me every time I conduct a trial. There's a lot of video footage on it. It's been pretty much swept up under the rug. But
Uh-huh.
the U.S. military, somebody in the U.S. military is holding all them trials because I was there every 45 days. Yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah, they
crazy.
didn't. I tried to stop the Iraq War, tried to stop all the inoculations of the soldiers. I rewrote the whole policy for the Veterans Affairs program, veterans-fairs, for their families, so to make sure they had necroeconomics for payout in times of trouble, like right now. And so as I watch this under a natural pathway, cleaning out the, the things that they're doing and making it more whole, more natural path, for cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
And that it creates a different style of balancing, so you're not caught up in the pharmaceuticals to chemically engineer your mind and your body. And so it's a very sad program. So I rewrote all that and tried to stop and help the U.S. military. And so I was nicely pummeled for that effort.
Well, it's not going to go unnoticed, brother. I really believe that all this is getting ready to come to light pretty
Sure
soon.
it is. Yeah, because look, whether you know it or not, or whether people know it or not, I'm going to be going, whether you like it or not. I'm not asking anyone's permission. I don't have to.
Going
And I'm
where?
going to specific location when the lights are on. You got to wait till the lights on. Wait till
Gotcha.
everybody thinks it's really, really, really important. That's when I'll come strolling in the door. Now, if I'm decking and knocking pardon my language, knocking people out on the way in the door, well, that's because they probably earned it, right?
All
And
right.
it's not me. U.S. Secret Service. I'm on this military base, right? And
Mhm.
these Secret Service guys are like, Russell, why are you all calling us blah 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 all the time? I looked at this Secret Service agent and I'm like, look, it's not me talking. It's the millions you're screwing. I said, I don't know. It just comes out of me. And if I grab your cell phones and slam you up against the wall and do the be me, it's not me talking. It's the millions that you don't screw. They didn't
Yeah.
have the courage or the knowledge to come in the door and tell you what they thought.
Well, I'm excited. And if you need some extra muscles, I got you, big dog. I'm here.
Okay.
And I mean that because I ain't scared, bro. I'm not.
I know. I can tell it. You're on the turpentine, like you said, man. You got courage.
I know. I have no fear, man. Fear is of the devil, and I don't have any time for that. I know who's in control, man.
That's it. And when you know that, and you're humble, and you're righteous with yourself, the easiest person to fool is yourself. And when you're righteous and honest with yourself, that hopefully is reciprocal in every aspect of your life. And as that happens, the reason why I'm walking around is because I am correct, sir. I've done what I said on a global level, right? I haven't even gone into the macroeconomics of the United Nations and all the things that I did there, and all the things that the, Interpol and International Maritime Organization, International Bank of Settlements, International Court of Arbitration, International Chamber of Commerce, and everything, World Health Organization. Yeah, I mean, I went through them all, cleaned them out. They were pretty upset, but I did it. I actually did it. And so, for that, I'm happy of myself. My parents, it's really interesting. And right now, it's my parents are like, I don't know what all the commotion is about you all of a sudden. You've been saying the same thing for 23 years. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, I think it's been hidden until the right time. If what I believe about this prophecy is correct, then there's been a veil over the truth that is, I believe, now being lifted. And I think what you're going to see now is within the next few years, or hopefully the next few months, but not long from now, the knowledge of this and who you are and what you did and the solutions that you provide are going to become a lot more. People are going to become a lot more aware of it, and they're going to wake up and see that you have solutions, and you're going to start seeing a snowball effect. I really believe that. I think that the reason why it's coming to the forefront now is because now is the time that God had set aside for it to come to the forefront.
It certainly is not my timing.
Yeah.
I'm just a messenger of what I've built,
Right.
and I live humbly within those constructs. I don't claim to be better than anyone else. I've got my faults. I like women. I like playing basketball. I mean, it goes on and on. I don't necessarily think they're false, right? I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy my space. I'm a baller, right? It's what I like to do. It's straight up. I want to take someone to the hall. Or I'm a because I'm so little in all the tournaments. Everybody tries to post me up.
You're
So I
smaller
get
than you're smaller than the other guys?
most guys that I play against, like when I go on a court to like they're pretty big, like 6'8", 285.
Uh-huh.
They're pretty big, and I'm like 5'10", 165, 170. So I got to throw them off the court. I play a little rougher style maybe than more of an 80 style. The Euro steps. I'm gonna try to Euro step. I'm either jacking the ball for them or I'm decking them to the ground. One of the tearing them.
You don't have the Euro step down yet?
I've got a few of them, yeah, but I've got a style that's its own style.
Oh man, I gotta see this. You need to start.
Uh,
You need to no. You need to start posting videos of your basketball games, bro.
yeah, you know what? I'm just finding the players now because I went through such social engineering on my local reservation that I was
Mm-hmm.
on, that everybody took advantage of me and mocked me, blah blah blah, and took my kindness as a position of weakness.
Right.
Out of that, I managed to get a few good friends, and then I've picked up friends around in the tribal world, that guys that are passionate about basketball. These are young kids, young men, not kids. These are men.
Mm-hmm.
They travel overseas and play ball, and I enjoy their company, as well as just they don't comprehend me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure since I've come out with the videos, they definitely don't comprehend me. Guys, oh my God, still one, still ready to ball and rip you guys up, and you guys are all a bunch of easy guys anyway. They know what that means.
That's
But
awesome, man.
I'm not as good as I'd like to be right now because I just don't get the dedication I'd like to have in the gym because I'm spending so much of my time in the lab right now. So
Right.
I don't have a lot of time. I'm starting to take a little bit of time for myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that has changed my life in the last 4 or 5 days.
It probably makes you so much more productive in the other things that you're doing.
You know what? I have seen productivity go up in the last 4 days. Big time.
Isn't
That I
it
have.
crazy that
It,
spending less time on it can make you more productive if you get that quality time?
yes, and I moved off the job site, so I'm not on the job site anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw the quality of work go way up. I've seen a lot of things happen, and I just feel more at peace. I'm still, you know, you you know, you
Are
still
you
can't
saying the
figure
last
out,
4 days?
the last 4 days. Yeah.
You know what? Hold on. Do you know what 4 days ago was?
Nope.
4 days ago was Pentecost.
Okay.
You don't know what
Okay.
Pentecost is?
Well, it's a pronoun for
Well,
sure.
okay.
You gotta hit me
All
up.
right. We're gonna go there.
And it's okay. So I have a different perspective of you because my education is different.
I understand.
Okay. So when I see things, you got to comprehend. To me, there's been a lot of people walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and in their plights, people stereotyped them, and I see, the Jesus or whatever you want. I seen him as an alchemist, military leader that was a real rough and tumbly guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? That didn't mind stepping into the temples and whipping some butt.
Yeah, I
So
see him the same way, actually.
yeah. Very, very more of a military style of position. And the stories that have been spun off of that, I feel very bad for them and for all the things that happen with that. So, I look at, people call me like the seventh angel. Well, angel's a messenger. The first time that there was ever any mention of angel in the Bible is when Abraham got run out of Sumer, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he got tossed out of Sumer, they sent him messages on what they wanted him to do, right? So when they were bombing that all out over there. So my perspective of education based upon my seeing specific books and being in locations on the syntax, not only do I get the chance to read specific classified books on ancient civilizations and
Mm-hmm.
histories, but because I can syntax them, I can fill in the missing words that the author can't see. So it's a different construct for me as I break down some of your words that you say.
Okay.
So Yeah.
Well,
So
forgive my grammar,
no.
but
So when people call, I've been accused of a lot of things, right? People have, you know, but I am, I'm Russell or Amagat, you know, in the tribal world. I have different functions and different hats for different locations, but I'm here for the people. You know, to me, you know, um, I've been trying to stay out of the biblical concepts because I think that there's a lot of missing holes there in
there
people's
definitely is.
stories.
I personally have a big problem with not people, but the idea of the Bible is the word of God and it is the truth, and you know, because
Yeah.
it's it's not correct. I think
If you look,
probably originally it was probably correct, but it's not anymore. There's a lot of truth in there, and you have to, you know,
it's a storyline that gives hope. People don't need hope; they need solutions. And hope is the one thing that people hold on to.
hmm
Solution is something that is tangible and you can use now.
right.
So it's a different style. I'm not here to give hope. I'm here with a solution. The solution is, you know, how the grammar works, how it's backstopped by. Right now, I'm backstopping it with metals, but you can backstop it with just about anything if I felt the chance to commune with that.
hmm
So, you know, you got to comprehend. I took down the whole world banking scenario from all stock markets on the planet to all contracts to go into the stock markets. I rewrote all those constructs. I rewrote all the constructs for casinos. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on in banking. Anything to do with it, I've rewritten tens of thousands of papers on those constructs to bring a solution that people can use from one nation to the next, and not trespass into the religious. Everybody has their own position and knowledge based upon their spiritual walk. And it's up to each person to find that spiritual walk, if they so choose. Some may choose to be an atheist or not even want to choose to do that, but A means no. So, you know, some of the words that they use are all negative in construct. So,
Right.
but everybody is part of that. You know, there's a creator in all of us. Whether people comprehend that, people look at it different
Mhm.
ways, and how we choose to enter into those spiritual thought processes. You know, people train in different ways for that. Some like to use plant medicine to open up that.
Mhm.
Some like to meditate. Some like to get involved in church groups. All of these are just openings to allow that person to commune or join with the concept of that creator or that God in them, right? Giving them, you know, the capacity to create, you know, hopefully good moral value, which is a
Mhm.
lot of the problem that we're seeing out here is because the lines have been blurred so bad
Yeah.
that nobody has, there's no boundary lines anymore. And
It's
because of that, it's
it's awful.
difficult.
Yeah.
It's awful. So the religious thing, I try to stay away from that, but I feel you. There is definitely a creator out there. There's
Mhm.
definitely something within that but the storylines that we've been given because of the grammar, how can I trust that? And in the turn, I'm not turning around and saying, well, I'm building this as an end all on faith, this and that. No, I'm not going to do that because that's not my position here. I'm
Mhm.
not a God. I don't claim to be a God. That's
Mhm.
not what I'm doing. I'm creating a situation where people could join on a grammar construct. I get sometimes a little, you know, funny about people put me into this stereotype. And for me, if they knew how humble and how peaceful of a guy I am, and
Yeah.
you know, they would see that I don't. How could I qualify for those functions?
Right. It's I can totally see that when, you know, people get a little carried away when somebody's good at something and
Yes,
they make them out to be bigger than what they are, and I'm
yes.
happy to hear you say the things that you say. You seem like a real humble dude, and
Once we're on the same page, then at that point we can have the conversation and open up the communication lines so that we can ask the questions. Because I've just been kind of doing my thing because I saw so much evil out there in the
uh-huh.
banking constructs, in the courts, in the military, that I wanted to provide a solution that to go through that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've been busy doing.
Okay. Well, I'm here to help you, brother, any way that I can.
Right on.
I've been out there like, check this out, check this guy out, check this guy out. And I'm finding out that there's actually a lot of people that already know about you, which is really cool. So it's a matter of
Really?
getting people on
Okay.
yeah, there's more people that know about you than I realized. I've been promoting you in the first video that I made about you on Twitter, and it's gotten I got a lot of feedback, and a lot of people are,
Positive?
yeah, almost all positive. I can't really think of any negative feedback except for one guy that I know, a Facebook friend of mine. I sent him my first video, and he goes, "Oh, I know Russell. He's a schizophrenic. I've known him for years." And then when I tried to question him, like, "How do you know him? How do you know him?" And he didn't really have any answers for me, and he kind of just shut up. So
Well, I'm a pretty private guy. I mean, if you
yeah,
s- my nearest neighbor is about 9 miles away.
okay,
So as you can imagine, I'm pretty quiet and pretty in a different space than most. So because I'm busy watching and witnessing,
hmm,
and I don't want to get caught up in the stereotypes of what I'm seeing going on down here, because I want to bring, when I do come to the table, I want it to be peaceful as I can.
right.
It's been so rough against me. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been rough and tumbling, right?
I can
But
only imagine, because I mean the little stuff that I do, I'm constantly out there like fighting the narrative and trying to reveal the truth and expose the lies. And I get attacked a lot. I haven't been beat up, but I've been threatened a lot. Um, I've had people
sure.
try to get me fired from places that I work. I'm a musician, and I've had,
Oh, what kind of music?
oh, I'm a soul artist, man. I do soul music, and I do funk and R&B and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So
Oh, well,
I got a
believe it or
record
not,
coming out soon. I'm
I
gonna make
can,
sure I send it to you.
hey, I can dance.
I
I
know,
got
I
rhythm.
saw you, man. That's why I played that song.
Legitimately. I don't get a chance to go out. I haven't had a good dance partner in a while, but believe me, I can dance and I enjoy it. Maybe it's a little, maybe a little R-rated. I got to probably tone that down a little bit. But that's
Keep
just
your
me being
shirt
me.
on.
I'm a hopeless romantic for sure.
Well,
So because of that, yeah. But I love dancing. I used to dance all the time when I was young.
I am a dancer,
Oh,
actually. I'm a salsa dancer, and I teach it too.
oh wow,
Yeah, I
that's
do a lot
pretty
of different
cool.
stuff, man. Have you ever
That's
tried
pretty.
salsa before?
I have. I was trained in classical dancing when I was young,
Oh,
and
cool.
so yeah. So more classically inclined, but absolutely, I'll if salsa dance. I will definitely try to do the tango and a few. I don't.
Man,
It's
we
not.
got to make this happen. We got to go salsa dancing one night, bro. We got to
Hey,
do it. It's on my bucket list now.
okay.
It's
Well, where's the best places to go salsa dancing in the world? Where's the coolest spots?
New York City,
There you are.
Miami,
Oh,
Miami.
Miami. Miami.
Uh, Europe has great salsa.
Yeah,
Any big city in Europe. Tampa, Florida is a great place to go.
Tampa.
That's just a few. That's just a few examples.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
meet you there, bro. If you want to go
Hey,
do it.
I'm gonna have to work on my steps. I'm gonna have to. I'll find me somebody local, and I'll start working on my salsa moves for
All right,
sure.
sounds good. And if you need any help, bro, I'm a teacher. I'll show you how to do it myself.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can figure that out.
We'll trade grammar lessons for salsa lessons. How about
Hey,
that?
I'm hip. I'm hip with that. I'm hip with that.
Russell, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, man.
Oh, for sure.
I'm already looking forward to the next one. I'm gonna email you the links to the stuff that I was talking about, the videos, the prophecy, and my videos that I made on it. Um, and I'll hit you up, in a couple days. We'll set this up again, man. I had a blast, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I don't cover, the religious thing. People
It's all
always
good.
try trying to go there with me, and I'm uncomfortable because I'm a man, you know.
You're humble. That's all. But all I'm saying is I'm seeing something that a lot of people aren't seeing, and I don't think it's a coincidence. It just can't be. And I asked to be shown it, and I wasn't looking for it. And I think you'll find it interesting, brother. There's some amazing stuff getting ready to happen to this country and this world, and I think it looks like you're going to be the one that makes it happen. And I just hopefully I can be a part of it and help facilitate it.
Well, you started off the show right, and then that's the dancing. So we ended it with the salsa, and
Oh, you want to hear some salsa?
there's some salsa.
Oh
Salsa.
boy, don't. Oh man, you are. Hold up, I can make that.
You should know I like to dance. You know
Make
now.
that
Now I
happen
told the
real
world I
quick.
like to dance. Oh dang.
Hold on, I don't like that one. Here we go.
Oh yeah,
You gotta do a little salsa shake like that,
you got
man.
yeah. I got that move. You bet.
But
Yeah,
I'm gonna show you how to do all that stuff, man. I'm gonna show you.
Sounds like a winner, man. Hey, thanks for the conversation. I've really enjoyed my conversation. I'll take a look at your videos that you send me.
Yeah, man.
And we'll communicate some more. If you have any questions on grammar, feel free to give me a call. And
Okay.
we'll go from there.
One last question about the grammar. Where can we go? Like, where can I send people to? Because obviously you can't answer everyone's emails. Where can I send people to start learning about the grammar?
The best one that I know, the best guy I know, his name is Monty-Edwin Mueller. He's hands down the best that I know. I see a lot of people plagiarizing his work everywhere.
Can you send that to? Can you email that to me so I can share it with everyone?
I certainly will. Yeah.
Okay.
But Monty's a federal postal judge, an actual one.
Uh-huh.
And he doesn't. He knows it's martial law. Courts are closed. He knows a lot. He was with David, and he's been in the grammar for 20-some years. So
Okay.
he's solid. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, man, I look forward to talking to you again. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll talk to you soon. And don't give up the fight, brother. We got your back.
All right, on, man. Thank you so much. And tell you and your friends hello. And looking forward to that dancing.
Oh, yeah, man. Maybe I'll send you some videos of me dancing. But you got to send me some basketball videos. I want to see you breaking some ankles.
Oh, man, it's been a while since I don't know if I can break some ankles.
Yeah, you can. You got to believe in yourself.
I can. Hey, you should see me play defense.
Oh, really?
I'm a showstopper. Yeah, because everybody try to post me up. Yeah, I'm good in the post.
Oh, because they're bigger than you and they try to push you up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, you're David. You're a giant killer, bro. You're a giant.
Oh, I already know. Now, if you saw the giants that I've slayed on that basketball court, you'd say I was a giant, bro. I go to the hood here in Phoenix where I'm at.
Uh-huh.
They tell me I play through. All the brothers are like, I'm playing. These guys are good. They're darting all around, and we're D'ing them up and putting them in lockdown and taking the ball from them. And they're telling me I play too rough. All the brothers are like, you play too rough. And I'm like looking at them going, I'm not used to playing this soft. I'm telling them, but they're just my buddies down there with me.
That is
we roll
hilarious.
onto the course. We pull into the hood. We're laying on our horn honking, jumping out of the truck. We're here. We're all
wild, man.
looking at me.
Oh, that makes
Crazy.
me happy. That is
You
awesome.
can count on it, man. You can count on it.
That's dope.
Easy,
man.
guys, everywhere.
All right, brother.
Easy.
Well, we're gonna talk
Talk to you
soon.
soon.
I'm gonna send you emails. Shoot me that guy's info so we can start learning the grammar and we can get hip to the game, man. It's time for this to go down.
Right on, man. Appreciate your time. Have a good
Man.
one.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, brother. God bless.
Bye, man. Yes. Peace. Bye.